I was scared. I was fearful, mostly I think about being judged, probably about the way I looked, what I was wearing. I mean, the things you think about when you're younger, right? I would start to sweat. My face would turn red. That was a big one, and I knew it, and I felt it. I'd be overheating, and then people would tell me, Rob, you're getting so red. Just that, right? Just that, somebody pointing that out. I hated that so much. Today I just want to have a chat with you, a real chat, heart to heart as we can have one with me and a camera. Today's video is not going to be about gear, algorithms, how to grow on YouTube and all that stuff that I usually make videos about. In this video I want to talk about dreams, and I want to talk about you. And I want to remind you that your dreams are worth more than fear or doubts that you may have. Everybody has dreams, okay? Whether you admit to it or not, everybody has dreams or had dreams. So I want to have this heart to heart and talk about what might really be holding you back from chasing your dreams. Who am I? Who am I to be telling you or giving you advice like this? I'm not a trained psychologist. I'm not a trained public speaker. I don't have a degree in psychology. None of that. I'm just a guy on YouTube. I have a name. My name is Rob. It's nice to meet you. If you're new here, welcome. But I'm just a guy. I'm in my 50s, and I've learned some things. Okay, I've learned some things on YouTube. I told you I'm not going to really talk about YouTube. I'm going to refer to it a little bit because that's my journey. But whatever your journey is, or whatever you want your journey to be, or whatever you have dreamt that your journey could be, that's what I want you to focus on. So I'm going to try to speak in general terms. But yeah, I'm just going to share my experiences. See, when you're over 50, you've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I've gone through hardships. I've gone through happiness. I've gone through 56 years of stuff, right? So with age comes experiences, life experiences that you can share, that I can share. And wisdom. I like to think a little bit of wisdom comes with that. Do I think you are 25 years old, and do I believe that you can maybe learn something from me? You know, I mean, maybe, but likely not. In all likelihood, you are over 40, and if you are, then what I say will likely resonate with you better than if you were younger, okay? I remember when I was younger, I didn't, I guess if I were to think about it at the time, yeah, I would agree that people who are older than me have more experience. They've got more wisdom. They could probably share some things that would help me out. But the reality is, when you're young, you don't take kindly, or I didn't take kindly to advice. I just want to live my life, right? Like, I had my whole life ahead of me, right? So at some point, perspectives change, and that point is different for everybody, but it comes with age. At some point, you're going to realize that most of your life is behind you, and you've got wonderful memories, hopefully you do, and maybe not as much life in front of you. But the main thing I want you to understand is time isn't waiting for any of us, okay? Time marches on, as someone once said. And I want to give you some perspective. So today it's 2025. And I've seen this before in social media posts, but when you realize that 1975, okay, I remember 1975. I was fairly young. I was 6 or 7 years old. Okay, but I remember the 70s. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Okay, high school was in the 80s. But I remember 1975. I remember my parents had a large, long station wagon that we went on family vacations in. And they were good times, right? But when you realize that 1975, that's 50 years ago. That's as far away from today as if I do my math right, 25 was to 1975. So if you can kind of picture yourself back in 1975 and think about how far away 1925 was, well, again, I was 6 years old at the time, and to me, 50 years before that time in 1975 was many lifetimes ago. I mean, well, I had no recollection. I didn't know it. I wasn't around in 1925. But I mean, the advancements that came between 25 and 1975 were astounding. And I didn't think that way then. But now, I mean, like I say, time marches on. It's not going to wait for us. And if I look at today and look back at 1975, I can remember 1975, maybe not like it was yesterday, but I have very clear memories of my childhood, and they're fond memories, some sad memories. I mean, memories, right? They can be anything. But my point is, it's all up here in my brain. Like 1975, yeah, I remember that. 2024, yeah, I remember that. It was last year, but still, it's in the past, right? But I guess a point I want to make is that, and let me know in the comments below if you notice this, but for me, I feel like every year that goes by now goes by so much faster than they did back in the 70s, back in the 80s, back when I thought I had an eternity of life left, right? So yeah, do you notice that too? I do. Every year seems to go by faster and faster. It's like time accelerates. It doesn't, so it's all got to do with perception. But because of that should be something that's just something I want you to think about when you are deciding whether or not to follow your dreams. Okay? When you're making the decision to not do something that perhaps you dreamed about doing, and put it off for another day. Oh, I'll do that some other day. Yeah, someday I'd love to make YouTube videos, whatever. That's what I'm doing. But I'll do that later. And for me, I did wait like 3 years. I started a channel, but then I kind of waited for 3 years before I really got going with it. I'll get to it later. I'll learn how to talk to a camera later. But later might never come, right? You just don't know. You don't know. I want you to understand that starting something later does not put you at a disadvantage. Sure, some time is gone, but that's that. Just, you've got today and you've got the future. So look forward. Be in the present, look forward, and do what you want to do. Follow your dreams. That's my advice. When I say a late start doesn't disadvantage you, what I'm getting at is because of the extra experience that you have, and because of the people who you could relate to now, probably people your age, you've got lots that you can offer. Lots that you can offer. It's just you'll be offering it to a different audience. Again, I don't speak to 25-year-olds in my videos. I speak to 45-year-olds, okay? Because they relate to me more. They've lived a good chunk of their life and are at a similar stage in their life to me. Somebody who's 25 doesn't necessarily think the way we do. So you have an audience. No matter how old you are, there is an audience for you. Speak to them, right? Help them out. You've got some things that you can say. I know you do. I know you have things that you could say that would help somebody out who's of your generation, somebody who's your age, somebody who lives where you live maybe, or that's a bad example. We're talking about YouTube here, so somebody who's going through what you maybe have gone through. You can speak to them. You can help them out. Fear is normal, okay? Fear is something to be embraced, and you should not let it hold you back. It is normal to feel fear and to have doubts about whatever it is you might be thinking about doing, or what your dreams are, but it's totally normal. And to help explain this, I want to tell you a bit of a story about me and when I was younger. When I was going through school, and actually right up until probably right now, but I don't know yet, I haven't tested it, but when I was young, when I was going through school, and this started at a very young age, I absolutely hated having a spotlight put on me. I did not like getting up in front of the classroom and talking to my classmates, my peers. I hated it. I was afraid. I was petrified. I would hide at the back of the classroom. I would not want my name to be called to get up in front of the class and talk about whatever. even if I knew what we were talking about. It might have been math class, and I was half decent in math, so I probably knew what I was talking about, but I didn't want to do that. I was scared. I was fearful, mostly I think about being judged, probably about the way I looked, what I was wearing. I mean, the things you think about when you're younger, right? How I looked, how I sounded, if I was going to be stuttering, if I was going to be sweating, and if it was going to be visible. That's something that used to happen to me when I had to get up in front of class. I would start to sweat. My face would turn red. That was a big one, and I knew it, and I felt it. I'd be overheating, and I knew my face was going red. And then people would tell me, "Rob, you're getting so red," and just that, right? Just that. Somebody pointing that out. I hated that so much. But I was not one to get angry about it. I just tried to hide. I would always sit at the back of the classroom. I did not want the teacher to notice me or pay attention to me. Just wanted to sit with, some friends and kind of blend in. So, and that didn't go away. So, I mean, I went fairly far in school. I went to university and I went to graduate school. And there were a lot of times when I was called upon to get up and I had to do presentations. High school, university, presenting a thesis. Like I had to do all this stuff that I hated. Now, most of the time I was in groups, so that helped a little bit. I can kind of hide behind or make one of my group members do most of the talking. But these are the types of things I did, and I was successful at avoiding it. Did I learn anything from it? No, I didn't. I wish, looking back now, I regret not trying harder to do that, because the next step was I got a job. I was working for somebody else, and again, I had to present to clients. I found that a little bit easier because, if I didn't do that well, I don't want the boss mad at me. So I prepared a lot, but I still didn't like it. And the largest the group ever got for me was maybe 10, maybe 15 people. So it was not like public speaking. But why am I saying all this? I guess I'm saying this because a little bit relate that, like public speaking, to making YouTube videos, which is what I'm doing now. And again, I promised I wasn't going to encourage you to start YouTube. It'd be great, I think, if you did, but that's not what this video is about. But for my case, I really wanted to do that. I really wanted to start YouTube, and I knew that the videos that I liked the most were videos where people were just talking to the camera, okay? Not faceless channels, not AI type channels, not even storytelling type channels. I figured they would be too hard to make, like a whole bunch of B-roll and then narrate a story. Actually, I kind of thought about doing that for a while, and I tried it a little bit, but it's hard. And I knew that, Rob, if you could just talk to the camera and be relatively comfortable doing that, and maybe even show some insecurities, like warts and all. If you see me struggling a little bit, like someone just walked by here and you probably noticed that my voice volume went down a little bit, because I'm in my mind, people are watching me, and this is kind of all part of it. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, and that's what I suggest that you do too, in whatever it is that you want to pursue. If you can get out of your comfort zone and just start doing the best that you can. I mean, that's really all you can do, is the best that you can. Hi. So part of why I'm telling you this is I have considered doing public speaking now because of this year-long adventure on YouTube where I've become much more comfortable talking to the camera, and it helps that people in the comments are telling me that they like it when I talk to the camera. They like it when I just chat, or when I give advice, or even the sound of my voice, some people say that they like. So all of that is super helpful, and I thank you for that. What it boils down to is people's opinions don't matter, okay? That might sound a bit harsh. What do I mean? And when I say people, I mean just the other people that you're afraid of being judged by. People pleasing is a thing. I feel like that maybe I'm guilty of that, trying to please people a lot, and it's exhausting. trying to be what you think other people want you to be is exhausting. So I advise against doing that, and try to recognize if you do that, and try to stop doing that. Like if you realize that what other people think of you really doesn't matter in your day-to-day life, that'll probably go a long way to helping you get out of whatever rut you might be in, or to follow your dreams, okay? Because it's true, people's opinions don't matter. It doesn't matter to me if people are watching me talk to this camera right now, which they probably are. It's hard for me to say that because, that's just the way I feel, but so it's a work in progress with me, and if I can do it, I believe you can do it too. So I guess the main point of that is to try to live your own life and not what somebody else expects you to live. Okay? Follow your own passions. It's okay to reinvent yourself, and the reason I'm saying that is because I feel like there's a lot of people who maybe they're living their life the way, however they're living their life. They've got a job, they've got a family, there's things that they do all the time. They're in, I don't want to say a rut, but there are things that they do all the time, and maybe there's expectations there. People expect them to do certain things or to be a certain someone. But I want to kind of turn that a little bit on its head and say that it's okay to reinvent yourself. It's okay if you decide to do something else. Okay, if you decide you don't want to do your job anymore and you want to pursue a career in filmmaking, okay, that's as close as I can come to being a YouTuber. If you want to pursue something else that maybe you don't feel like other people would either agree with or expect you to do, it's okay. It's okay. Again, think about the whole time thing. Time is limited. We don't have an unlimited amount of time. So if there's something that you feel like that you would like to try or do, then do it, and try to shake off those fears and try to not doubt yourself and just do it. It's okay. It doesn't matter what other people think. Reinvent yourself. Learn a new skill. Try something new. Go new places, right? Learn to play an instrument. Okay, learn to play a sport or a new exercising activity. Something new. And if you realize that by trying something new or taking a complete right turn and changing career paths, the ability to do that is not a weakness. It's not a failure. It's a strength. Okay, the ability to do that is a strength. You're strong if you're able to do that. And even if other people might say negative things about it, like, oh, what are you doing? Just don't let it bother you. Try to laugh it off if you can. That might be harder or easier said than done. But that's kind of a motto I live by. Just if you can laugh at yourself, then you've beat everybody else to it. Then if somebody laughs at you, you're laughing together. So I don't know. That's just kind of the way I look at it. I mean, life is short, right? Enjoy yourself. Play, right? Be curious. Learn new things. Whether it's history or a new skill, do something new. You don't know what that might open up inside of you until you try it. And I think if I were to wrap this up now, I would just say take action now. Like, don't wait. I talked about the whole time thing and the fact that time is speeding up, right? It's not slowing down. I don't want you to waste time because it's the most valuable commodity there is in the whole world, time. Way more than money, okay? Money is important, of course. You need it to live and to sustain yourself, but time is more important. So in the end, it doesn't matter if you should have started this new thing sooner. All that matters is that you start now. How does that, I think it's a Chinese proverb, how does it go? The best time to plant a tree would have been 20 years ago, but the second best time to plant one is right now. Anyways, that's all I've got today. I hope you found this helpful. Again, my name is Rob, and if you've enjoyed this, I'd love to hear from you. If you want more of this, join me on Tuesday. Tuesdays, every Tuesday actually, I go live. I do a live stream on YouTube at 1 o'clock Eastern time. And oftentimes I'll just ask, I'll answer questions from people who show up in the chat, typically around how to do YouTube and how-to questions like that. But I also give motivational advice, how to talk to the camera, and maybe this week I'll kind of further this conversation along. Just try to help as many people out as I can through those live streams. I usually go live for at least 2 hours, sometimes longer, and we have a lot of fun. So anyways, I hope to see you there. If not, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for stopping in. Bye. I want to talk to you today. Yeah. Right now it's Thursday morning in May. It's not even the touristy season and there's a lot of people here. So a little outside of my comfort zone by being here and filming in public. You'll let me know, actually you can't let me know, but you'll see if people sneak up behind me. I won't. But hey, gotta do it sometime, right? Live a little. Today I want to have a heart-to-heart chat with you. Is it heart to heart? It's heart to camera. Today I want to talk about dreams, your dreams, and the fact that your dreams I want to talk about dreams, your dreams, and what might be holding you back. And I want to remind you that your dreams deserve more than too many cheat notes. I've got too many cheat notes. Just do it. Just do it. So just to let you know, I was at Peggy's Cove today, and that is the famous lighthouse, and these are the famous rocks. I say famous, they're just normal to me because I grew up here. But get a lot of tourists here. It's fun. It's dangerous though. You can't go down on those black rocks. People do every year, and people lose their lives every year. You slip into the water off of these black rocks and you just can't get back up. So be careful if you come to Peggy's Cove.